Alright, let's make this shit quick because I got some Kingdom Hearts 3 to play and I really fucking dislike this video and I've had to re-record this 3 times now! Darling in the Franxx is a bad propaganda anime, or at least that's what the internet tells me. Job the Hung made funny memes and a toy review about the anime. Arkham Knight Rider responded, I saw the video, went to the library, pushed past that mumble rapping in the library computer just so I could script this shit.
This is Jobby, and today we're taking a look at the SH Video Arts from Darling in the Franxx. And for those of you who don't know, Darling in the Franxx is a 2018 anime series by Studio Trigger, best known for their work on some of the best anime ever. You can fight me on this, but you will lose. But Trigger didn't make the show alone. A1 Pictures of Sword Art Online fame had a huge part in the production. Might explain the sudden dip in quality. Got it.
Okay, I have 2 problems with this. First, you will not automatically win a debate when it comes to someone with a different opinion. How would you even know? How would you know you even win before you even started debating them? This shows a rather closed-minded nature about you that is, well, rather pathetic. How fun would it be to have someone who will shoot down any argument you have simply because it isn't aligned with their opinion?
What the fuck are you talking about? Was it this?
You can fight me on this, but you will lose.
That's a closed-minded nature? A comment about the show's solid quality existing to express how solid Trigger Studio is? These types of comments aren't supposed to be taken at face value, Arkham. It's not an actual challenge to a debate. He isn't even going to actually have a full-blown pin-pin-style debate over this type of shit. And I'm sure he's well aware of the fact that people are welcome to their own opinions. Once again, this comment isn't supposed to be taken as an actual matter-of-fact statement.
Second, what does this studio that collabed with Trigger mean at the end of the day? I get that people, including myself, found Sword Art Online to be, well, rather terrible.
You shut your whore mouth, woman! I can end you with a thought!
But they were collabing with another studio. This other studio should not be blamed for the problems or the shortcomings of a collab simply because they made one terrible show in the past. Studios change over time, and one show does not represent them as a whole.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Consider my anus blasted. I'm not sure how much underwear I'll have left when all this is said and done. You, you realize that this was just a potshot at Sword Art Online, right? It's a statement that simply exists to be a joke and a burn on what a lot of people consider to be a bad anime, noting the fact that it's a joke because of this.
Might explain the sudden dip in quality. Got it.
Good lord, I already feel really worn out over the fact that I'm just having to explain jokes. I'm just a really boring version of Family Guy at this point. I'm the Cleveland Show. And before you tell me that you're allowed to criticize the jokes like you told Dwebley in the comments section, sure, you're more than welcome to do that, but that's not the impression I get here at all. Taking into consideration that this clip...
This shows a rather closed-minded nature about you that is, well, rather pathetic. How fun would it be to have someone who will shoot down any argument you have simply because it isn't aligned with their opinion?
Is used by you to present an argument about how he has a pathetic, closed-minded nature, then followed by you debunking the Sword Art Online joke as if it were an actual statement. I'm not sure what exactly it is you're trying to debunk about the joke because everything so far has been taken at face value and not a comedic value, which is kind of important if you're trying to criticize these jokes.
Second half onward, the show takes a turn for the worst, and it becomes clear that you just watched 24 episodes of Shinzo Abe propaganda.
The population of Japan is decreasing fast. Can't imagine why. Please go outside, you lonely degenerate virgins. Fall in love, make baby, and try to ignore all the 02 merchandise, which includes posters, body pillows, and highly detailed anatomically accurate figures. This plan really backfired, didn't it?
Evangelion. Oh, God forbid a show try to tell its audience to live a normal life and not be obsessed about doodles on a screen. Seriously, what was this all about? I get that you're a hentai artist, but you do have to understand that life isn't all about happening to scribbles, and it isn't always a completely healthy lifestyle. The fact that you assume that the message of the show was about birth control issues in Japan shows that you seem to have a very making a mountain out of a molehill simply because you didn't like the direction it took.
No, that was quite literally the point of Jobby's joke. The fact that this is how the show is viewed, and taking a look at the show, it's not really that difficult to see why. A show that pushes for Japanese right-wing values that also links to these Shinzo Abe memes about Darling in the Franxx. Those memes being that Shinzo Abe is using anime to get the Japanese public to just fuck already. I mean, he goes on to express in a parody sketch that it's just poking fun at the show and the politics by joining in on the meme. I think you're just misguided and that you're not picking up on the fact that this is just mostly played up for laughs and once again isn't supposed to be taken seriously.
Also, how do preferred products made by Bob and his basement crew have any effect on the show's message? For all we know, those products were made by people who had the license to the characters' likenesses and made it to appeal to a certain crowd. And finally, the Trump reference, or references. Not only is it utterly pointless, but it also is out of place in a review of an action figure / toy. Adding unneeded political commentary only results in a divide in your audience. People are watching your reviews to escape from the political BS, not be reminded of it.
Well, what the fuck would you know, Arkham Dick Rider? You didn't take on the Clintons, the transgenders, the rapist Mexicans, or the Clintons. And you could forget about CNN, or the Clintons, and Bill Maher, or the Clintons. I bet you all work for the Clintons. Is Hillary Clinton the leader of the Decepticons? And will I have to tell my dad on you?
You could have reworded this so much better, and here's how. I liked the first season of the show, however the second season was rather preachy. Don't add any political jokes that were not needed, and there you go.
Cool. What exactly does that do to benefit him, though? You're not only misunderstanding the intent of his style of humor, which is very apparent by the fact that you've taken all of these jokes way too seriously. So giving such bland advice and giving him a rewording option that eliminates these jokes isn't really going to help, especially if that's his shtick, to review anime toys, or just toys based on the channel description, with a very comedic YouTube commentator vibe, or just this video at least. Which is why I feel that your comment to Dwebly is further bullshit, because this isn't giving better advice for how the joke could work, but essentially telling him to remove the basis of all of this humor. And that's just stupid! And to quickly work back around to this point,
adding unneeded political commentary only results in a divide in your audience. People are watching your reviews to escape from the political BS, not be reminded of it.
How could you possibly know this? Are you referring to yourself, or are you actually trying to attribute this to his entire audience? For one thing, Darling in the Franxx is already an anime that has the political discussion around it, simply due to the fact that the anime viewing audiences were put off by its political messages. And he's more than welcome to not only weigh in on it, but meme it as much as possible. Secondly, you're not in a position to make this claim since you'd be speaking on behalf of an entire audience base. And not only that, assume that these people don't want to hear about people memeing or poking fun at the politics, which is a claim without evidence that you need to substantiate. This to me just comes off as you policing content for an issue that is built off of an invalid, unsubstantiated claim and personal projection, and you should know better than to do this. And that's actually all I had to cover from the video itself. It was surprisingly quick and surprisingly infuriating. Now I'm gonna go back to playing Kingdom Hearts 3 because I need to fill the fucking void somehow.